Welcome to GreenCardGuys.tv. You need to know this. Do not give up on your legal status. Many people fail to respond to RFE or file an application before the deadline. This is why we offer a strategy session for 15 minutes at no cost to you. Not everyone qualifies. First, you need to speak with our CARES team. We receive many requests, so we recommend you answer a few questions on our website, greencardguys.com. Our mission is to help people live and work in America legally. Go ahead and subscribe below and follow and share. Talk to you soon. What's going on? Happy Thursday. Hope y'all can hear me pretty good. My name is John Ting. I practice immigration law in the United States to help you secure your legal status to live and work in America legally because the government doesn't care. I think that's pretty clear now. If you didn't know that already, I think that's pretty clear now with the ICE raids into your home, to your house. They are violating laws. They don't want to agree with you on that. They don't want to agree with me on that. There are constitutional violations left and right. So you need to take action. Don't be lazy. Get off your ass and file your case. A lot of you have not filed your case. Follow my channel because I record videos. I upload videos almost every day, okay? Because there are a lot of nuances that a lot of you don't know. Okay. So for example, in 2025, marriage cases are being processed pretty quickly in the sense of at least getting the interview scheduled. Now I'm referring to a marriage-based residency versus adjustment of status in America. If you're hearing about like, oh, cases filed, interview like 3 months, 2 months, 4 months, and you have a beneficiary immigrant spouse abroad, then this is a different situation. Okay. But if you have a case where the adjustment of status, you're in America and you're eligible for adjustment of status, these cases are scheduled very quickly, okay, which is really good. But please know if you had a short dating period, if you weren't even friends before, which is fine, of course, but we do have some clients where they've known each other for a while. They, were dating for a while and they had maybe a 1-year engagement or just a short engagement. That's typically fine in the sense of documentation, evidence of the relationship. It doesn't have to be evidence of the marriage only, but what we provide for USCIS and on behalf of our clients is evidence of the relationship. So if you just met January 1st, 2025, and you got married 1 month later, and then, or you proposed 1 month later, and then you got married, let's say 30 days after that. So let's say March 1st, and then you filed your case on April 1st. So let's just say tracking 30 days, every 30 days for something significant, right? So, and then you get scheduled for interview in May or June, because we're in June now. And then the common thing to know, if you didn't know this already, is that you have to bring additional evidence with you. It would be very strange to an USCIS officer if you show up with nothing but your certificates. Okay. All right. So, by the way, just some housekeeping. If you're new here, put the number 1 in the chat. I always love knowing where y'all watching from, or if you're new to a channel here at Green Card Guys Community. If you're new here, then please know that you're welcome to ask a question in the chat box. You don't even have to worry about asking me. Just go ahead and put the question in the chat box. If you want to join live, okay, you could do that on any of these channels. If you want to join live on TikTok, they make it pretty easy. You just click on guest. They have like 2 little people. If you're on Facebook or YouTube, you can email us and it should auto send you the link. Okay. Try to keep it easy for y'all. By the way, I do have, because we don't know what's going to happen to this app in the future. We have no idea. I do have, you're welcome to connect with me on LinkedIn, also on Substack. There's just so many different ways to contact me or just learn more information about us. Okay. Because you should absolutely be familiar with the attorney that you intend to hire. Okay. And there's at least 4 scenarios. I share this almost every live show. There's at least 4 scenarios where you should consider hiring an attorney. The fourth scenario is it's not even including when you file your case initially, which if you want the most peace of mind, I do recommend hiring an attorney from the very beginning before you file your case. But here's the four scenarios. Let's say you already filed it. Okay. The first one is request for evidence, RFE. Essentially, the USCIS wants more evidence. They want some more clarity. You have 87 days to reply to that. It's about 3 months. Might seem like a lot of time, but for most people, it's not enough time. The second scenario, notice of intent to deny, NOID. Please note, it does not mean that your case has been denied. It means that they are leaning towards denying your case because you really didn't have that much evidence, or they really need clarity. Maybe it could be a divorce order from outside America, and it's not the legal source that they wanted. Okay, so which by the way, we refer to the Department of State reciprocity chart on that. Okay, I see a lot of questions. Thank you so much. I'll get to that very soon. And the third scenario is if your case has been denied. If you've been denied, you need to expect that USCIS will refer you to immigration court. That doesn't mean the court hearing will be next week, but the process can be fairly quick. So you need to contact attorney because if you need to appeal it, the decision, you only have 30 days. If you get an NOID, notice intent to deny, you only have 30 days to reply. If you fail to meet that deadline, you just lost all your fees, essentially. You paid for an application for nothing. So back to the beginning, you need to get your act together, okay? So even if you already filed your case on your own, that's all good. Everyone has a different budget, but if anything, you need to save my phone number just in case. You never know when you might need it. Okay, so let me see if I can even find it right here. So in the fourth scenario is if you you need to hire your case has been delayed. So if your case has been delayed, put the letter D, the letter D for delayed in the chat box down below, and go ahead and let me know the month and year you filed it. Okay. All right. I see some questions. By the way, if you're new here, you don't have to copy and paste your questions. I will get to it. I know I had to share a lot of things. But so what we do for delayed cases that we evaluate to see how long has been delayed since the receipt date. And if we believe, based on our experience and our colleagues' experience, then we'll offer that a solution of mandamus lawsuit. Which, by the way, generally, if you're waiting for an interview or even a case decision after we file a lawsuit, if I could provide like an average based on every type of application, it's on average 2 to 3 months after we file a lawsuit. So it's a solution you need. This is a last ditch effort, really. Okay, because just like Kaya on TikTok said, her friend's case has been delayed 10 years. That is nuts. That is absolutely nuts. So, by the way, I know there's a lot of attorneys on, at least immigration attorneys on all these social media. If you've been here for at least 60 seconds, I think I've caught your attention. The government does not care about you, your spouse, your family member, or even companies. If you're here on the channels right now and you think that, oh, like filing for sponsorship through a company, like, oh, it's easy peasy. No, actually, like they get a lot more RFEs than family based. Okay. All right. So let me go back to the top here. I try my best to answer questions in the order I receive them. So of course, if you just posted a comment, then it may take a bit of time. And I might even ask you to join live if need be. All right, so we got Carrie Alvarado. I'll try to pin the comments. You have DACA, but you also have a removal order from 2005 when you're 8. Can you still get deported? Yes, unfortunately, even anyone who has a removal order, regardless of what age you were, you're subject to removal pretty much right now. So unfortunately, when people had their windows busted from the car, of course, I don't agree with that, but that's their way around getting a warrant, essentially. So, so Carrie Alvarado, if you haven't spoken with the immigration attorney yet, or maybe you have, but let's get a second, third opinion to see if there's a way to reopen your case. Okay, because worst case scenario, even if I hate to think about this, I know y'all don't want to think about this, but the worst case scenario, if you had to go back to your country or nationality, at least have something in the process. Maybe it's a motion to reopen, but of course, you need to have a sponsor because when you file a motion to reopen, they want to know, the judges want to know, so they can feel comfortable legally to grant the reopening and dismissal, vacate the prior decision if you have a sponsor. Okay. Hopefully that helps a bit. By the way, if you have filed your case, go ahead and put the letter P in the comments. P for pending or processing. And let me know the month and year you filed it. By the way, I have, if you joined the show before, you know what I'm talking about. I share insights. Sometimes I know in the past I've checked processing times for y'all. I think I have a video on social media about that, how to do that. And I appreciate your trust. And you're wondering what the real insights are for processing times. So my team finally put something together. We have a Google form survey, anonymous poll. You just put in, you select which application. I don't have every single application there, but the more common ones. I know someone on TikTok asked me the other day to add Advanced Pro, the 131. So we just added that finally. But anyway, you put in what your receipt date is, and we're going to share that in a video every month. Every 30 days, we'll share it. If you do want, now it's anonymous, but if you want to add your name and email, then what we'll do is we'll add it to our, we just signed up for Lawfully on a business subscription. So you can get the update through there if you don't have access to that already. Okay. But again, you don't have to provide your name and email. That will be more real-time update on processing times rather than depending on the USCIS website because let me see if I can share because if it looks, oops, that's not it. Almost. Okay, well, anyway, that's the older one right there. Well, TikTok you can't really see it, but since it's blocking my face, or you can see it, but not my face. The like this. Okay, so for petition, it says 17 months, sponsored by a U.S. citizen. Now, if you're wondering what the other box is, that's sponsored by a resident F2A preference category. And they used to show the how many months. I think the last time it shows 24 months. They don't want to show you anymore because they don't care. Okay. So, but anyway, our poll is different. What it shows in these boxes is more of a spectrum, the range. So even though it shows 17 months, it could still get approved in 12 months, for example. And this is only petition only. But anyway, just want to share an example of how we want to provide more value to you because look, I don't want to just come up here and blabber and I don't want to fearmonger anyone, but you need to take action if you are eligible. If you don't know if you're eligible for anything, then please consider talking to an attorney. Look, oh, what the heck happened on? Oh, that is funny. I'm not trying to do that on purpose, guys. Okay, here we go. There we go. Got that going. Okay. Okay, so but you need to know the reality of what's going on. Let's see. So let me go back to some questions here. Hello, Violet Sky. Good to see you from Nashville. Your fiance and you just filed for K1 visa, and your fiance beneficiary is currently being petitioned by his father. Okay, under I-130. So he's got two cases going on. Okay. Will that raise any red flags at the visa interview just by having two applications on the file? No, that's not this situation. So I guess he's got an F2B for a while going on through his father. Yeah, that's fine. But the fiance visa, I think you've known Violet Sky that's from my channel that it takes a while. It takes at least 2 years in general. And that's a separate from the green card process. When I say green card process, by the way, I'm referring to the 485. Okay, well, there was someone that, let's see. Okay, then I'm just reading some questions here. I try my best to go in the order I receive them. So thank you so much, Joshua. Can a 10-year green card holder go to Canada this season and come back? Oops. Oh man, let me go all the way back up. I mean, you could anyone with a I couldn't read the last part of your question, but anyone and come back without problem at border. So I can't promise that, right? Like I can't promise that you're not going to have a problem at the border. But look, there was someone, an auntie, I guess, recorded a video, uploaded. I mean, bless her heart, she was just trying to update everyone, as many people as possible, ASAP. But the thing is, she's not a lawyer. She's not the immigrant herself. She didn't know exactly the terminology to share. From the context I gathered, it seemed like her niece. And then, if anyone watched the follow-up videos, let me know. But it seemed like her niece maybe had not filed the remove conditions application, just like someone from, was it the Netherlands or something, Denmark? I don't think it was South Africa. Caucasian person, European. I think it was European. Anyway, he that person did not file the 751 application at all. Some people filed the wrong form. So, if, and so that's a problem. You can't be like, you can't have one of the, what do you call, like a innocent mistake and tell customs, "Oh, I'm so sorry, customs officer. I filed. It turns out I filed the wrong form." They don't give a shit. Okay, so that is why hiring an attorney is not just filling out the forms. It's not. It's strategy. It's making sure it's done correctly, first of all. So, by the way, I do feel bad for anyone who hasn't hired a law firm and they didn't do the right thing. Give us a call. We'll see if we can correct the situation for you. Okay. Let's see here. So, please, for the love of God, please contact us. Well, yeah, I mean, you're welcome to contact us, because I'm thinking we don't want too many phone calls, but we do want to really help you out. If we have a webinar tomorrow, if you are concerned about travel in general, join the webinar tomorrow. I have a Know Your Rights webinar. It's a webinar about Know Your Rights. It's also about the travel ban and the exceptions to the travel ban, to talk more about specific to those topics. So if you are interested in the webinar, go to my LINK in the profile and schedule there, okay, for the webinar. Let's see here. Ooh, thanks for your patience. Thank you so much for your trust to ask these questions. There's just a lot of questions from all the platforms. Okay, someone earlier on TikTok asked. So, by the way, TikTok does filter some questions or comments. Um, I guess that they did it better to where I can see it. So, one of them that just popped up here is, looks like something about 290B. Man, I can't find it. I just saw it. Oh, it's all the way down here now. Okay. Nepali AI ideas. Hey, good to see you. How successful is 290B? Denial of your U.S. citizen wife's I-130. What happened? I thought you filed two I-130s. If you're the same person from before, it's been a while. What's going on, man? So I thought maybe I think you're the same person that filed two. I thought one of them was approved for you if you're that same person. Let's see here. But here's the thing about 290B in general. That is the form for motion to reopen or reconsider with USCIS. Now, the majority of the time, it is better to refile your application. Okay. Some people think, especially if it's you also file a 485 application for adjustment of status. Some people think that, oh, if you file a 290B, that you can still work with the work permit 765. And no, technically that work permit is denied also, or no longer valid, even if the work permit is still valid till the end of the year. But you just got denied today, but you filed 290B, it's technically cannot use again. But the thing is, like, if you already have a job, yeah, just don't tell your HR, don't tell your company that, hey, the work permit is no longer valid. Don't tell them that. Some of y'all are so transparent with your company. I don't know why, but don't update them that. By the way, um, failure to update them about that is not a crime or not a violation. By the way, if you didn't know this, but working without a work authorization or without a work permit is waived automatically if you're married to a US citizen spouse. Okay. There's no extra, it is a violation in general, immigration violation, but it is waived when you're married to a US citizen. And of course, you filed an application, assuming it will be approved in the future. Okay. Let me see here. Growth World on TikTok. You answered no for working without work permit on 485. You have an interview coming up. Should you be honest? Again, that's similar to what I was just, it's the exact same thing I was just mentioning. If you're married to a US citizen, then, and you're working, first, before I answer the question more thoroughly, I have to tell you this is legal information, but this is not legal advice to you specifically. I'm just answering questions generally, of course. I have to tell you that, but I think you can read between the lines, okay? We always advise every client, if you have been working without a work permit, without work authorization, and you're married to a US citizen, then you can feel confident to check mark yes. Okay. On that question. I think it's like question number 13. I look at it almost every day. That's how I memorize the number. Let's see. Thank you so much for your questions. Someone asked, BB Glenn asked, people going for that who are going there for the first hearing in Dallas being detained? I mean, it could be their first hearing, could be their fifth, could be a 10th. That part doesn't matter. It's more about within what time period have they entered US. The general rule of thumb, I guess, well, not rule of thumb, the law for expedited removal is that the White House has said that anyone that has entered within the last 2 years is subject to expedited removal. So if you have been living under a rock the last 2 or 3 weeks, here's what's been going on with the court. That if you've had a court date, whether it's a final trial or a master calendar hearing, the judges have dismissed cases, and you're thinking like, oh, isn't that a good thing? Isn't that what John has been talking about? Like, that's what we want, a dismissal? Yes, generally. But okay, the last 2 or 3 weeks, they've been a lot more creative. They would coordinate with the judges. Okay. It's collusion, by the way, but they've been colluding with judges and saying, go ahead and dismiss the case. So then after your case is dismissed, ICE is out in the court hallways to arrest people and if you're wondering like, oh, how is that possible? Because the court does not have jurisdiction over your case anymore or over you. So that allows ICE to just essentially detain you, arrest you, and put you in for removal. Okay, sent back to your country of nationality. Now, that's why if you have a court case, for the love of God, if you don't have a lawyer, at least talk to a couple, okay, to make sure you get the most peace of mind. Maybe you're not eligible for anything, and that law firm you talk to, attorney will at least give you that peace of mind that if you're not eligible, you're not eligible. For us, if you're not eligible, we will not offer you anything. We will not offer you a quote because we don't want to waste your money, okay? You might as well use that money for your living expenses wherever you have to live, okay? By the way, if you appreciate the information I shared, if you don't mind, give me a thumbs up on Facebook or YouTube, and on TikTok and Instagram. Well, actually, on Instagram, I don't know what you'll do over there, but on TikTok, if you can tap the screen, greatly appreciate it. Again, if you want to join a live show, I will be here for another 10 minutes. Okay. So during the live show, by the way, if you want to schedule, if you are serious about your own legal status, I mean, I hope so, and you haven't hired an attorney or you hired one, but it's been a very bad experience. I'm sorry for you, But if you schedule during a live show, it's only this amount. Okay. So we have 5 spots for you. You want to schedule during a live show, and that's for this pre-qualify session. Okay. Pre-qualify session is that amount. Now, if you're for that one right there, okay. If it's a strategy session, that's an attorney. So no, that's not this amount. It's not free. That is a 3-digit fee, okay, with an attorney. So again, if you schedule, use the link in the profile description box. You can find that there. Peace and love. Yes, some lawyers will appear in court via WebEx. That's the remote. What do you call it? Like video meeting. So we've done that, but it just depends on a judge. It's not even about the city of the court. It's the judge. Every judge is different. So hey, Amy, what's going on? Good to see you. Thank you so much for your time. I know your time is precious, so I will be here for another 10 minutes. If I'm not able to answer your question, you're welcome to DM. You're welcome to go ahead and follow, subscribe, and then click the bell for future notifications. So you know when I go live, because I although I want to be consistent when I go live, it's very difficult depending on what I have to do. Stanley, I'm in Texas. I think you also asked if we help with divorce. We help with divorce for our current clients for immigration. So, and if you're in Texas at least. Now, if let's say you're in Dallas County, even though my office is in Harris County. I used to be in Dallas, by the way, but if you're in a different county in Texas, we can help you with the whole case, and hopefully it's uncontested, but we can have an attorney to coordinate. We can coordinate with an attorney to help you with the actual final hearing for divorce. So it's very, very limited circumstances. But even if, Stanley, even if you have a divorce case that you need to file in a different state, we're always happy to point you all in the right direction with another attorney. We try our best to give you 2 or 3 different options, and there's no obligation to hire that law firm. It's just, if anything, to try to save you some time, but still read the Google reviews. Jamie Felicissimo on TikTok. You just want to ask, after perm filing, should you receive any receipt number or case number? If you're the foreign national, no, not you. There is a case number, but you would not receive it. The law firm or the client, which is the employer, would receive it. Okay. Yeah, and even the Department of Labor is the one that handles the perms, and they don't give you. It's worse actually than USCIS. They don't give you. It's a bunch of guessing in terms of maybe when the perm could be certified or issued out. But that's, yeah, as you know, some of you know, it's just one step in the process. It's more like in the middle of the process. Kia 1805 on TikTok. You have 2 kids or citizens and yourself. You don't have status. What can you apply for to stay without the dad? Okay, so sounds like you mentioned without the dad because not involved or not here. Okay, so children can sponsor a parent as long as a child is an adult here in America, even though adult age is 18. According to USCIS, the immigration law, the child has to be 21 to sponsor, okay, a parent. Oh, you're not married? Okay. They're underage. Okay. Hopefully not too young. Hopefully soon they can sponsor you. Maybe if it's a couple years. No, look, that's why. Oh, they're going to go here. Growth World. I already answered your question, so I'm not going to. I try my best. Look, there's a lot of questions. So I try my best not to repeat answers. You're just gonna have to join the next live show or something. But the best thing to do, y'all, if you need an attorney on our team to answer your question. I'm just not able to do it live, and you don't want to join another live show. I get it. Just schedule a meeting with us, okay? And we always have a lot of people who already have an attorney, and I get and love being on our show. I appreciate that, but I certainly don't want to step on any of your attorney's advice. Okay, so we're located, love it or leave it 99. We're located in Houston, Texas, H Town. Okay, so growth world, it depends who your sponsor is. If your sponsor is a US citizen, then yes, you can feel comfortable to tell the truth on that question. Okay, Osman, can you travel back to your home country, Afghanistan, with your SIV green card and be back in just 1 month? Well, I don't know if you want to be a test case, but as you know, the travel ban, Afghanistan is on a list. Unfortunately, those who have permanent resident status is an exception to where you can return to America. However, I don't know. Like I know a lot of you who are here, who are resident holders from a country on that was travel ban, that you're subject to a travel ban, but you have family abroad. So I understand that part. But look, I mean, if you just want the best case scenario for yourself, for your family, I just recommend to just wait until you become a US citizen. Okay. Now look, if you gotta travel, you gotta travel. That's on you, not me. But I'm just saying, like, you want the best scenario possible for yourself, then become a US citizen because even when you sponsor your spouse, your partner, your Pookie Bear who's abroad in Afghanistan or another country subject to a travel ban, it's best that you're a US citizen anyway, unless you have kids to sponsor too. Then that's a different strategy. Thank you so much for the follows. Now, look, if you've been here for at least 60 seconds and you have not followed or subscribed yet, I encourage you to because you never know when you might need our legal services, even if you filed the case already. So go ahead and screenshot. You're welcome to screenshot. Um, that was not the dab, but you can screenshot the phone number or save the phone number. There we go. Okay. Cello 2025 says green card people cannot travel. I don't know where you're getting that from. That is wrong. See Kindle, you're losing hope, still waiting for approval since November 2023. Is this for 485? I think you may have told me before. Yeah, I mean, I think you're getting around time, See Kindle, to file a lawsuit, right? November 2023. So that's what, 16, 17 months already, at least. So if it's a 485 case, then you need to talk to my team about a lawsuit. So for anyone that asked, please answer my question. I appreciate that, but I mean, there's like 50 questions, so you're just gonna have to wait your turn. Because I really try to go. Look, y'all gotta know. Here's some housekeeping. If you don't have your own live show, you should know this. TikTok doesn't put the questions in one, two, three order. Um, so I try my best. Let's see. Maria Lacerda on YouTube. Removal conditions case reopen. You got a U visa with bona fide letter. Great. Waiting for the work permit. Okay, good deal. Okay, good. So keep us updated, Maria, if you need some assistance or other questions. I didn't see a question on that one. Gigi, you got your son turned 21 this May. Can you have him petition you? Your son's 21, Gigi. You were denied VAWA because you did not respond to RFE. We get that update pretty often. People tell us unfortunately they didn't respond to RFE, maybe because their attorney was boo boo. Maybe they filed their case themselves. They got busy. They forgot about it. Whether you have an attorney or not, for the love of God, put it on your calendar. And it's not just putting the deadline on your calendar. This is what we do. We have several calendar what do you call it, a tickler system, like event reminders, essentially deadline reminders. In our Google Calendar, we put 1 week email notification. For court hearings, we also do like 30-day notification in advance before the court hearing, 2 months notification. Like we're sticklers for the tickler. Okay, so hmm. Let's see. So yes, Gigi, you can I can have your child sponsor you. Now, hopefully, you did enter with visa if you want to do adjustment of status. But we should chat, okay? Here's the thing: like the questions you ask on a live show, I'm happy to answer them. But it may appear sometimes I get a feeling that you could be eligible for something else. You need to schedule a meeting. Okay, I recommend it. And I think sometimes some of you know that. Some of you have that gut feeling that you might need to actually have a conversation with us. Hello, user 9516. Raj, your SIJ I-360 been 234 days. How long is it going to take to approve? I don't know. I don't have it up right now on I-360 processing times. Let's see. Okay, some of y'all I skip because it's a similar question to answered earlier. So please don't take any offense to that. Gagandeep Singh, you'd had an interview for adjustment of status on April 29. You're still waiting for a decision, but your final individual hearing is next month. Okay, well, I can figure it out. I know the situation. You're not going to get a decision on your 485 application because you have a court case. I mean, someone just today, I think it was today, someone told me that um, their prior Pookie Bear, when he or she sponsored that other previous Pookie Bear, they the 485 was approved, even though there's a court case. So that was strange. But typically, the majority of the time, when you have a active case or administratively closed case in court, your 485 application will not have a decision until you get the court case dismissed. Okay. So Gagandeep, if you don't have an attorney, you need to contact us ASAP so we can evaluate for only this amount during the live show. Okay. So you can get that case dismissed and hopefully you can get your 485 decision